Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Will Powers. Prosecution is ready, Your Honor. Defense is ready, Your Honor. Very well, Mr. Edgeworth, your opening statement, please. Prosecution will show the court that 2:30 p.m. on October 15th, the defendant, Mr. Will Powers, killed fellow actor Jack Hammer in Studio 1 of Global Studios. It is impossible for anyone else to have committed this heinous crime. The evidence presented during the trial will all point to this fact. I see. Very well, I would like to move on to some testimony. Mr. Edgeworth, the prosecution may call its first witness. Very well, I call most familiar face, Detective Gumshoe, to the stand. Detective, if you would briefly describe the case to the court? Yes, sir. I'll explain with the guide map here. To understand this case, it's important to grasp the layout of the studio, see? This here is the employee area. The actors did a run-through of their action scenes during the morning here. This is the main gate to the studio. The security lady that works at the studio was here at 1 p.m. on that day. Past the security station there's a gate, see? Past that area are the studios. And here it is, Studio 1. This is the scene of the murder where the body was found. Now, on the day of the murder, October 15th, there were only 3 people here. The victim, Jack Hammer, the defendant, Will Powers, and a young woman, the production assistant. All the production staff were in the employee area until noon. Then after lunch, the victim, Jack Hammer, went to Studio 1. Right after that, at 1 p.m., the security lady got to the guard station. Now jump ahead to later that day, 5 p.m. Production staff came to Studio 1 to perform a rehearsal. Needless to say, the rehearsal was cancelled. Time of death was 2:30 p.m. Samurai spear found lodged in the victim's chest was the murder weapon. That is the case in brief. Anyone like to hear that again? Should I listen to the whole thing again? Nah, we're good. I think I can probably remember that. So the murder weapon was a spear? How medieval. Your Honor, this case is quite simple if you ask one question. And that question is, what did the security lady at the guard station see? Understood. Let's call the security officer to the stand. Will the witness declare her name? Oh, hey, aren't you a handsome fellow? I'm afraid I'm a bit flustered. Your name, please. Oh, dearie, no need for you to be embarrassed. Just call me Grandma. Your name, please. Seems Edgeworth has a bit of trouble getting his witnesses to say their names. I wonder why. Wendy Oldbag, dearie. Wendy Oldbag. Wendy Oldbag. Get it? It's great. I love this name. Still, objection! I object to the witness's talkativeness. Objection sustained. The witness will refrain from rambling on the stand. I was just getting to the good part, dearie. Perhaps we can get to the testimony. Now, the witness was stationed at the main gate on the day of the murder, correct? Yes, see, I was. And to get to the scene of the murder, someone would have to pass by you. You know your stuff, dearie. You may begin your testimony. Sure is one hell of an old bag. On the day of the murder, I arrived at the guard station at 1 p.m. Poor old Hammer and the rest have been doing a run-through there since the morning. I had some errands to run that morning. Anyway, it was 1 p.m. when I got to the guard station. I was at the main gate from then until 5. Now, the murder happened at 2:30 p.m., right? Interesting to me because a certain man walked right by me at 2 p.m. It was Powers, the man right there, and he was heading toward the studio. You saw the defendant then? Very well. Let's begin the cross-examination. Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor? Okay. Okay, let's check our evidence, because it's been a while since I played. Card key. Taken at the gate between the entrance and the studios, October 15th, 2 p.m. That's the other photo. We don't have the other photo? What do we have that would, like... This would have to probably... Well, we'll press on all this stuff. So up until that time, anyone who wanted could go to the studio? Well, there wasn't a security guard at the gate, no. But the main gate was locked, dearie. You need an employee card key to get in. Right, the card key that I have. So what she's saying is no one who wasn't supposed to be there could get in. Was there anyone at the studio when you arrived at the guard station? Poor old Hammer and the rest have been doing a run-through there since the morning. A run-through? They were working out a scene between the Steel Samurai and the Evil Magistrate. They got the basics figured out by noon and were to use the afternoon for practice. Rehearsals was supposed to start at 5, that's why poor old Hammer went to Studio 1 in the afternoon. Powers was in his dressing room sleeping when he was supposed to be practicing. Talked about a laid-back hero. If there was a run-through in the morning, why did you only get there afternoon? She had some errands to run. This seems suspicious. What kind of errands? Oh, well, you know. Answer the question. Actually, I was watching poor Hammer and Powers, observing, you know. Yeah, we did see her at the, in the flashback there. Observing, weren't you supposed to be at the guard station? Whippersnapper, I told you I locked the gate, didn't I? I did my job. I'm not sure your boss would see it that way. Anyway, I always watch Hammer's run-throughs, always. Never missed one all my years. Wow, I want to see a Steel Samurai run-through too. You could quit being a spirit medium and take up guard duty. Not a bad idea. It was 1 p.m. when I got to the guard station. Did you see the victim then? Did I see poor old Hammer? Nope. He had already gone to the studio before I got back to the guard station. Tell us what happened next. Okay. I was at the main gate from then until 5. Sorry, I'm pressing all this stuff here. So you were watching there the whole time. No breaks, not even a second. Of course, I'm a professional, you know. We don't have anything though, right? What could we possibly use to, like... Am I just, like, stupid and I'm not seeing anything? Time of death caused 2:30. Taken at the gate between the entrance and the studios. So you saw Mr. Powers? That's what I said. Get your wax in your ears, Sonny. Nick, this is your chance. And you pull out your secret weapon. Oh, yeah, that's right. She didn't see Powers. She saw the Steel Samurai. Let me get this straight. Old Bag, or Miss Old Bag. You've been saying since yesterday that you saw Mr. Powers, correct? But you're talking about the man in this photo, aren't you? Just a moment, Mr. Wright. Let me see that photo. What is this exactly? None other than the Steel Samurai defender of Neo Old Tokyo. This Old Bag. Is this the Mr. Powers that you saw? Of course. Didn't your mama teach you any sense, Sonny? Anyone can plainly see that's Powers, right? No, they can't. Well, I mean, I wonder. True, Mr. Powers does play the role of the Steel Samurai. But that doesn't mean Mr. Powers is the Steel Samurai. I know that. I wasn't born yesterday. No one in this court is accusing you of that, Miss Witness. He's having trouble calling her Old Bag, apparently. However, you do not have proof that the person in this photo is Mr. Will Powers, do you? Nosy old man. Of course I have proof. What? Huh? Even Edgeworth is surprised. Prosecution would like to ask the witness. Please make known all the information in your possession ahead of time. Now, as I didn't know everyone would be so nosy. You should be ashamed, all of you. Anyway, I showed that photo to the young detective. He told me this isn't any good as evidence, pal. He didn't even give it a second look. What? Wow, old Wimbeck has left even Edgeworth speechless. She's good. Let's hear about your proof, then. The man in the photo. I never say anything I don't mean, mind you. That morning during the run-through of the action scene, I saw Powers trip and fall. He broke one of the props. It was a big mess. Apparently, he sprained his ankle pretty bad. Now look at that picture. You can see he's dragging his legs, see? Clear as day. That's how I knew it was Powers, happy? So he had sprained his ankle? Very well, Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. She's got to be hiding something. I'll press her until she squeals. I never say anything I don't mean. During the action scene, saw Powers trip and fall. Trip and fall? Yes, and to think he's supposed to be the Steel Samurai. What a laugh. So Powers sprained his ankle. I helped make it better for him, of course. Helped make it better. I kissed it where it hurt. Let's just skip over that part, shall we? Where was the assistant then? Oh, her? She was cleaning up backdrops, I think. She didn't know about Powers' ankle. Let me continue your testimony. He broke one of the props. It was a big mess. He broke a prop? Sure did. His own samurai spear. The samurai spear, the murder weapon. Luckily, I was there with my duct tape to fix it. Hang on, check the record. Well, that's got tape on it. It strikes me as significant detail. I better write this down in the court record. Apparently, he sprained his ankle pretty badly. I think we've heard enough, haven't we, Your Honor? Well, there is one thing that bothers me, which is... Where is the Steel Samurai costume now? Actually, well, we couldn't find it. We were looking, though. Anyway, that's not important. The witness did see the Steel Samurai, yes. And it is clear that the person in the Steel Samurai suit was Mr. Will Powers. I suppose that's right. Are you sure, Your Honor? Hold it right there. We keep talking possibilities, but we have to agree that this photo shows the Steel Samurai. Nowhere in this photo can we see Mr. Will Powers. The defense has a point. I also wonder if someone else not caught on camera could have killed Mr. Hammer. We have to consider that possibility also. Uh-oh. Then allow me to remove that doubt from your mind, Your Honor. Will the witness continue your testimony, please? No need to ask twice. Witness's account continued. The time of the poor Hammer's death was 2:30 p.m., true? The only person I saw go to the studio before then was Will Powers. No one else went there. If they had, I would have seen them. So if no one else went to the studio, then it would have to be the Steel Samurai who did it. Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. Time before the Hammer's death. Okay, what do we have for evidence here? Picture of the chest. That's not true, because she didn't know where... Wasn't the assistant not there? We don't have anything for that, though. The only person I saw... No one else went there. If they had, I would have seen them. Are you sure? The witness has answered the question. Anyone going into the studio had to pass by the witness. That's right, Sonny. You let him have it, edgy boy. Edgy boy? Well, Winbeck sure has balls, or... Well, you know what I mean. Well, Winbecks have a way of skipping over important details, after all. For that matter, entirely forgetting them. How convenient. Something for you to look forward to, perhaps. Okay, that is true. The only person I saw... Okay, this seems weird. Are you absolutely sure? Oh, quite, Sonny. Nobody's suspicious looking passed by at all. Nobody's suspicious looking, right? No one else went there. If they had, I would have seen them. Let's check no one else went there. Because we know the assistant wasn't in the studio, right? What about before you got to the guard station? You mean before 1 p.m.? Why, everyone was in the employee area before then. And I locked the main gate so no one could get in. Not to mention... I'm gonna... He said no one could get in. Hang on. No one else went there. If they had, I would have seen them. Hang on. Now the card key does not work. I'm not really sure what to do here. Matt, maybe? No, that's bad. We're not doing too hot here. We're gonna lose. To redo this all over again, and that's gonna suck ass. No one else went there. If they had, I would have seen them. Actually, let's do the first one. How do you know that? Huh? Didn't I just explain? I gave donuts to the young detective. And then, after some rubbish about it being a secret pal, he told me everything. I see Detective Gumshoe shares his fellow officers' fondness for donuts. Fuck! I have 1 bar of health left. Hold on. Look at this photograph one more time. This photo was taken by the camera at the gate for the studios, correct? Yes, sir, Sonny. So whenever anyone passes by here, automatically takes a picture? And here I thought you didn't know your head from a hole in the ground. Right. Anyway. It's also true that the computer in the guard station records all security cam data. Oh. You know, if you wanted to work at the studio, we might have an opening. That very computer printed out this photo. Note that on the back of the photo I printed the words October 15th, 2 p.m., photo number 2. Oh, yeah, that's right. There was another photo that we couldn't get. That's what was confusing. Even I know that means it was taken at 2 p.m. October 15th. Really, son? Actually, I knew that too. The issue here is the bit at the end where it says photo number 2. Photo number 2. The computer only held data for 1 photo on that day. Don't you think that's odd? Shouldn't this photo be photo number 1 if it really was the only photo? Order, order. Please tell the court what you mean by this, Mr. Wright. Actually, that's what I want to ask the witness. This evidence shows that not 1, but 2 people went to the studio that day. Yet there's only data for only 1 of the photos. You could have erased the data for the other photo. Only someone with access. The security lady herself. Me? You watch your mouth with whippersnapper. Only person I saw that day was Will Powers. But the camera on the gate fired twice. That means 2 people went by. Well, yes, that's what it would seem to me. Can the witness explain this to the court? I don't understand these newfangled computer things. Edgy boy, help? Huh? Believe me, I want to, but I don't know what this means either. Huh. Somehow you are. You're a whippersnapper, too. Whippersnapper. Something the matter, Miss Holdback? Ah, that's right. I just remembered something. Let me guess. Someone else passed by the gate. Someone other than the Steel Samurai. Well, yes, I suppose you could put it that way. I see. Your testimony, please. Every day after I finish my guard duties, I have one other important job to do. I go through the photos recorded on the security computer and check them. I throw out any photos that aren't suspicious looking, you see. Come to think of it, now I remember throwing out 1 photo that day. Miss Oldbag, this is the first I've heard of this. Well, of course, Sonny, I've only just remembered it. Right, anyway, Mr. Wright, please begin the cross-examination. Well, I'd say this was a time for the unexpected, but I kind of expected this. You have an important job to do. I go through the record. How many photos are there usually? On a day when we're open to the public, we get more than 500 people. But on filming days or rehearsal days, well, we don't have much money. We never get more than 50, and that's a big day. You back up all the security cameras data? Well, they keep telling me to, yes, but those computers are just so frustrating. I threw out any photos that aren't suspicious looking. How exactly do you determine what isn't suspicious looking? Oh, you can tell by looking at their faces. For the most part. For the most part? This is a murder trial, Miss Old Bag. Well, I didn't touch that suspicious looking Will Powers photo, did I? I think she's missing the point. Come to think of it now, I remember throwing out one photo that day. Well, who the heck was in the photo you erased? A fanboy. Fanboy? Steel Samurai fanboys, real freaks if you ask me. They get information about the rehearsals from gosh who knows where. They're always hanging about, one was there that day. Wait a second, didn't you just say no one else could get in? I locked the main gate so no one could get in, those were your words. Well, if you must know, there's a drain that goes into the employee area. I thought that was weird that it was open in like the beginning part. The grate has been loose for a while. It leads outside and well, that's where they come in. You come in through the drain? I told you they were freaks. Oh, and? They're kids, children, whippersnappers. Kids? So on the photo that you erased, it was a boy, probably 2nd or 3rd grade. What? Order. Let me get this straight. You saw 2 people pass by the gate on their way to the studios that day. One was the Steel Samurai dragging his leg. The other was a boy who looked to be about 2nd or 3rd grade. Oh, yes. Well, we see his type there every day. Can't stop him. Can't catch him. Boy in 2nd or 3rd grade. I assume it would be hard, if not impossible, for a young boy to wield the samurai spear? Impossible, I think. Quite heavy. Right. As I said, I didn't pay him much mind. That's why I erased the data. Nick, what's going on? I mean, the boy was there, that makes him a suspect. Yeah, and they're already trying to unsuspect him. This court will take a 5-minute recess. I want the defense and the prosecution to consider this new information. And no forgetting vital information this time. Right. Mr. Powers? Yes? Tell me straight. Were you really in your dressing room? You didn't go to the studio at all? I didn't go to the studio. I was sleeping, honest. So who was the Steel Samurai in that security photo? How should I know? The Steel Samurai costume was off in the corner of the dressing room. Anyone could have walked in and taken it, really. What? You should take better care of that stuff. I couldn't imagine anyone who wanted to steal a Steel Samurai costume. So, where does this leave me? It doesn't look good. No, I'm not gonna lie. You're really the only likely suspect right now. Nick, what are we going to do? First, we play for more time. We'll start targeting someone else that could have conceivably done this. Right. And they'll take them so long to shoot us down that we can get another day. Right, but if we pick the wrong person, we might lose on the spot. Don't sound very optimistic. I'm not optimistic at all, actually. Hey, Nick, it's time. Okay, let's go. What does that mean? Please don't sigh like that. Please save the game. I want to save real quick, so I have to do this over again. For now, we reconvene for the trial of Mr. Will Powers. Mr. Edgeworth, will you present the prosecution's thoughts on this matter? The prosecution's thoughts are simple. Nothing has changed. The other person who went to the studios was a boy, roughly 10 years of age. The photo we do have may not be hard evidence, but there's still no one else that could have committed the crime. I call for a verdict of guilty for the defendant, Mr. Will Powers. Very well, Mr. Wright, your thoughts. The defense disagrees with the prosecution's claim. There is another person who could have committed this crime. Order. Interesting. Let us hear who you may have in mind. However, be aware that this court does not look kindly on accusing the innocent. If you accuse someone who is obviously innocent, you will be penalized. Right. Great. As if the stakes weren't high enough. So who was this person other than Mr. Powers that could have committed murder? The lady herself. It was the security lady, Wendy Oldbag. Who? The steel samurai's dragging her leg in this picture. That means whoever was in the suit knew about that morning's injury. Maybe because they had been watching the action scene run through. There was only one person other than Powers and Hammer who knew about the injury. Security lady, Oldbag. What? Whippersnapper. Order. Is this true, Oldbag? Oldbag? That's Miss Oldbag to you. Miss Oldbag was standing guard alone at the main gate. She was by herself. In other words, she had no alibi. She could have briefly left her post to steal the Steel Samurai costume. Then slipped into Studio 1, the scene of the murder. Why would she go through the trouble of wearing the Steel Samurai costume? Simple, Your Honor. She knew the camera at the gate would take her picture. If she was in his costume, she could point the finger at Mr. Powers. I see. Excellent deductive reasoning, Mr. Wright. Oh, yeah, right there. Sherlock Holmes too, baby! It's odd. Isn't this the part where Edgeworth pounces? Doesn't he usually jump up with an objection and some new damning evidence for me? Well, Mr. Edgeworth, does the prosecution have an opinion on this matter? The prosecution has no meaningful objections at this time. What? What's that supposed to mean? Oh, so you all think I did it, is that it? Edgy boy, don't just sit there, do something. What's my move? I mean, now's my chance to take this the whole way. The very same reasoning that makes Mr. Powers a suspect in this case can be used to cast doubt on Miss Oldbag's actions on that day. But why would I do something so horrible to poor Hammer? You forget that Mr. Powers lacks a clear motive too. Indeed. That did it. Now Windbag is one of the suspects. No hard feelings, I hope. Wait just a minute. What about the other person who went to the studio? The boy. The one whose photo I erased. He's only a grade schooler though, as you said. 2nd or 3rd grade, was it? It doesn't matter. When I was that age, I could pin my old man in 10 seconds tops. Your thoughts, Mr. Wright? That boy's not the killer. What? How could you be so sure? He's a fan. Why would he kill his fan? Why would he kill his, admiration? Oh, or is it nice to the kid? Be nice to the kids and mean to your elder day, whippersnapper? I have proof. Proof? Indeed. Then let's see this proof, Mr. Wright. You have proof that shows the boy could not have committed this murder. Well, here. Your Honor, the murder weapon was the samurai spear. The very spear shown here in this photo. How could the boy have taken the spear? It's impossible. I see. Well, would the witness care to comment on this? The Windbag, speechless. This has got to be a first. Gotta be a first. Very well. This court will suspend proceedings on the current trial for today. Mr. Edgeworth, please find out more about your witness, Miss Wendy. What was her name? Something Oldbag, Your Honor. Then the prosecution will look further into this Oldbag before we continue. That is all. The court is adjourned. Ooh, almost didn't make it. Wait a second. I'm just gonna sit here while you run off barking up the wrong tree. Me, I'm talking. Uh-oh. Oh, great. Stop the presses. The Windbag wants to talk. Miss Oldbag, what is this about? Have you omitted something from your testimony? Actually, if you must know, there's something I was told not to talk about. Not to talk about? By whom? Huh. You mean it wasn't Edgeworth who told her not to talk? Well, testify. My lips were sealed. Global Studios wanted me to keep quiet about something. There were some other people at the studios on the day of the murder. They said they had nothing to do with it, see? So they told me to just pretend they hadn't been at the studios that day. But if you're going to go accusing me, I'm not letting them get away scot-free. Okay, who's they? Miss Oldbag, this is crucial information. Why did you keep this from the court until now? Ain't you been listening? They told me to shut my trap and I always do what I'm told. No, this isn't a bad dream, Your Honor. You witnessed the power of the Oldbag. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination. Who are these people? Well, the director and the producer, for starters. The director? You should have known something was fishy. How could they have done a run-through of their actions scene without a director? Of course. Yes, well, I was surprised no one asked about it. So, where were these people? The director was in the employee area all morning for the run-through. He joined the producer around lunchtime and they had a meeting after that. Where? Oh, in the Studio 2 trailer. Studio 2? There was a Studio 2? Well, if you look at the guide map, here it is. You go through the gate all the way to the left. The path where the monkey's head was fallen over. Well, Mr. Wright, would you like to continue the cross-examination? I think I've already asked all my questions, but... said they had nothing to do with it. Miss Oldbag, this is a trial for murder. I know that's silly. Still, they were pretty convincing about having nothing to do with it. And they gave me a little bonus on the side. So you got your bonus and you still talked. You've asked all the questions I have to ask. I'm gonna continue. Guess there's no harm in getting as much info as I can. So you were told not to talk. That's right, by the studio and the TV bigwigs, no less. Why didn't I hear about this? Don't be too hard on yourself, Sonny. We were all in on it. There were some other people at the studios. The director said they had nothing to do with it. They just told me they hadn't been in the studios that day. So they were actually in the studio. Yes, the whole day. When they heard about the murder, they beat it before the cops came. I'll kill this woman, I swear it. Feel sorry for Edgeworth almost. She really left him hanging on this one. But if you're going to accuse me, I'm not letting them get away scot-free. Down. Who are these people? Director. Okay. So... yeah, we already know this. Studio 2 trailer. You go through the gate, all the way to the left. Your Honor, we have learned there were others at Global Studios on the day in question. The director and the producer and some bigwigs were all present. Yet, as we stand here, they have not been questioned. I hold that it is impossible to declare a verdict on the defendant, Mr. Powers. Court acknowledges the defense's point. The prosecution will gather more information about the witness, Miss Oldbag, and more information about these other people we have just been told of. He's so pissed. I understand, Your Honor. This ends the day's proceedings in the trial of Mr. Will Powers. That is all. This court is adjourned. For real this time. Thank you so much, Mr. Wright. I was right to ask you to defend me. Aw, really? It's nothing. Oh, or should I... Well, we'll be going down to the studio to do more investigating. We have to find out more about this director and producer. They'll be turning up in the next trial as witnesses for certain. So now's my chance to get material for the cross-examination. So, Nick, have we figured out just who it was in that Steel Samurai costume? Could it really have been the old windbag? What do you think, Mr. Powers? I don't think it was her, really. Neither do I, Nick. Yeah, I know. Look, I was just buying time. Someone had to be the bad guy for the bit to take the pressure off Mr. Powers. Poor old windbag. I feel kind of sorry for her. Well, she wasn't winning any points in there with or without my accusation. Okay, let's get down to the studios. Right, we'll be back to visit you soon. Thanks, guys. Thank you. Ooh, that was a hell of a trial. I almost lost that one. Actually, I did lose that one. You just didn't see it. Alright, save your progress. Yes, I will see you all next time. Have a good day, everybody, and take care.